Swamp Thing 23.1, aka Arcane, written by Charles Soule, art by Jesus Saiz. So, Arcane is in hell. Mind you, he's sitting at a tree just looking like dead-eyed, and we zoom out and we see that he is actually in like a paradise. Like, it's beautiful, there's a babbling brook, there's a bunch of flowers and bunnies hopping around, but because Arcane is so entranced with death and horrific things like that, this is his personal hell. And he sees a tiny little bunny jumping by, and he's like, I know this isn't going to work. I have no reason to believe this is going to work, but I got to give it a shot. And he grabs the bunny, tears it in half, and sets the bunny down in front of him. And he's like, okay, all I got to do is stare at this bunny until it starts to rot. And then I can use that to just get a tiny little taste of the rot again. And so he stares and stares and stares for seemingly an eternity. And he just doesn't take his eyes off the bunny until finally a tiny little wind or something like that passes by. He loses sight for just a second. He looks away for just a quarter fraction of a second. And then as he looks back, the bunny is back in one piece and is just hopping along merrily. And he's like, God damn it, no! And so he stabs his own eyes out, falls dead, and we see another Anton Arcane is just coming to be. And so he is in an entire hell made by the Parliament of Decay, where nothing ever decays. It is perfect and pristine forever. So at that point, Abby Arcane shows up, just teleports into the world, because this is made by the Parliament of Decay, which she is now the avatar of, and she starts using the rot powers on Anton, and she's like, yep, I'm just going to give him a little taste, let him know what he's missing, just so I can use him a little bit. However, as soon as it touches him, he basically starts getting super powered from it. He gets bigger, bulkier, and he starts yanking the rot out of Abby, and she's like, oh, okay, too much. She forms a sword and cuts his hand off, and just like, hey, yeah, sorry. Here's the thing. I have come to you here in your own personal hell, not to free you, not to give you what you want, though I will use it as a bargaining chip. No, instead, I am here for you to tell me what happened to my mom. Tell me about my mother. And she recounts the few memories she has. She remembers her mom reading to her. She remembers her mom arguing with Anton while he was still basically human. And she remembers her mom sending her away to live with other family members. And then she remembers living with these other family members as Anton shows up and kills the family members, drags Abigail back to his castle, and basically grooms her into becoming a new avatar of the rot. So all that stuff, that's all she can remember from her childhood. But as she becomes the avatar, she's slowly getting her memory back in pieces. And she remembers her mother's name is Ilsa. And so Anton's like, oh yeah, Ilsa, I remember her. Such a lovely woman. Yeah, of course. And he's like, did you kill her? Did you kill my mother? And it's like, no, I did not lay a finger on your mother. Like, Ilsa was, look, if you want me to share, I need you to give me more of the rot. And she's like, you'll get that afterwards. Tell me. And so he's like, all right, fine. It began when I was 12. And she's like, no, I don't want your life history. He's like, no, it's important. It began when I was 12. I was out in Belarus, and that's where I grew up. And out in the forest one day, I found a decaying body of a rabbit in a trap. And I don't know what came over me, but I just started eating it. And I felt so damn good afterwards. I thought like, oh, maybe I'd poisoned myself. But no, I felt great. And so I continued to do that sort of stuff until one day Parliament of Decay came to me and said, you're going to be our avatar. And so I went through and I became Avatar of the Rot. And I just killed a bunch of people. That was kind of my thing. I liked killing a lot. And he's like, all right, now give me another taste. And she's like, you didn't even like begin to talk about my mother. No, you're not getting another taste. And he's like, well, I don't remember much then, unless you want to give me another taste of the rot. And she's like, fine, whatever. Gives him a little taste. And he's like, okay. So as you know, as Avatar of the Rot, my main focus is I needed to fight against the green and the red. And so I killed many swamp things and I killed many animal mens. But in the end, I really enjoyed serving in that, basically killing normal people. That's the thing I like doing the most. However, one day I thought, can I cause rot and decay without death? Is it possible to have rot and decay without killing something? So I had to explore that idea. And at that point, he basically says like, oh, yeah. I know you know all about this. I'm sure that's just been itching at your mind ever since you became Avatar of the Rot. Don't you just have that urge, that deep down desire to just see something rot and decay? And she's like, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Continue with the story. So one day they were out playing in like a babbling brook or whatever, and he was holding Ilsa's hand. And then all of a sudden her hand started hurting. And they went to the doctor, and turns out that it is essentially a flesh-eating bacteria on her hand. And so they say, oh, we don't have to remove it. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the infected tissue, get you a skin graft, and then you'll be good as new. And they do that, and they show the skin graft and all that. And it's just like, okay, she'd taken the rot. She had taken the rot and survived. So that means I was able to cause decay without death, but I had to push it further. And he kisses her on the cheek, and we see that she needs a skin graft on her cheek. And we see he touches her in different places, and over again, she requires these skin grafts until finally she starts having to get skin from like donors and stuff like that. And she becomes just this horrific patchwork person who rotted from the inside, basically. And he's like, yeah, no, she survived anything. She could survive me. She was strong like that, Elsa. And she's just like, excuse me, it sounds to me like you killed my mother. It sounds to me like you're the reason she's dead. Like, what the hell? You said you didn't do that. And it's like, what? Oh, no, Ilsa wasn't your mother. Ilsa was some random street whore that I picked off the street to act as your mother as you were growing up. I made you believe that. But no, your mother did not die by my hand. As it turns out, when you were a child, you were already predisposed to the rot, and you reached out and you touched your mother one day, and you killed her. And she, again, just freaks out. She's like, no, that can't be the case. That's not true. Screw you. You're never going to feel the rot ever again. I'm out of here. And she starts to portal her way out, and he's just like, all right, well, we'll see about that. And as she's just about portaled out, Anton rips out his eye and throws it into the portal, escaping this personal hell. And we see a suburban mother and son. The son comes in and is about to take a bite out of an apple. The mom stops him saying, whoa, hold on there, Johnny. That apple looks rotten and it's completely black. And she tosses it away in the trash can. And we see as the apple's in the trash can, it opens up and there is his eye, having made it back into the real world. So can't keep a good rot avatar down, I guess. I really enjoyed this. Obviously, all of the Arcane stuff happened before Charles Soule hopped on to Swamp Thing, but I think he has a real story to tell here if he ever wants to bring him back, because this was very creatively well done. It did a great job of explaining the character of Anton Arcane while also keeping it light, in as light as it can be, of he's stuck in this essentially heaven, which is his own hell. So it's clever. It's well thought out. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I gotta say this is I'll give this one an 8.5. I think this one is a really up there, and I really love the art style as well. So yeah, 8.5. I'm down with it.